There are certain discomforts that sneak into our lives as we grow older, little things we once ignored that now demand attention. A heavy stomach after meals, the uneasy bubbling in the gut, the quiet frustration of lying in bed unable to sleep because of that familiar, bloated feeling. These aren't just small annoyances. They chip away at our peace, our sleep, our energy, and yet, many elders silently endure them, thinking it's simply part of aging. But what if there were a gentle, natural habit one you could do right from your bed, with no medicine, no tools, just your hand and your breath that could bring deep relief to your gut and comfort to your nights? Tonight, I want to share with you a powerful yet often overlooked practice that has transformed the lives of countless elderly people around the world. The simple act of rubbing your spleen area before bed. As we grow older, the body no longer functions with the same effortless rhythm we once took for granted. One of the first systems to falter with age is digestion. What used to be a simple pleasure, enjoying a warm meal and feeling satisfied, can slowly turn into an uncomfortable experience marked by bloating, gas, sluggish bowels, and the persistent feeling of heaviness in the stomach that just won't go away. Many elderly individuals silently endure these symptoms, brushing them off as just part of getting older, while quietly cutting back on favorite foods, fearing the pain and indigestion that often follow. Yet, what if the path to restoring comfort didn't lie in more pills, expensive supplements, or restrictive diets, but in something much simpler and surprisingly effective: the gentle art of rubbing your spleen area before bed? Imagine this. It's nighttime. The house has quieted down. You finished dinner hours ago, but that heavy feeling still lingers in your abdomen. You shift in bed, trying to find a position that eases the discomfort. You sigh, hoping for sleep to take you away from the churning in your gut. But instead of reaching for an antacid or sleeping pill, what if you simply placed your hand over your upper left abdomen, the spleen area, and began to slowly massage in gentle, circular motions? Not only would you feel the warmth of your own touch, but you'd begin to activate an age-old mechanism within your body that most of us have forgotten: the healing power of intentional contact. This small act, repeated nightly, could become your secret weapon for a more peaceful gut and a deeper, undisturbed sleep. Scientifically, aging affects digestion in many ways. The stomach produces less acid, the intestines move slower, and vital organs like the liver and pancreas become less efficient. The muscles of the digestive tract weaken, and the system as a whole begins to lose its coordination. Food lingers longer, fermenting and creating gas, leading to discomfort that can overshadow the joy of eating. The spleen, while often misunderstood in Western medicine, holds a vital place in traditional Eastern practices, especially traditional Chinese medicine, where it's seen as the hub of digestion and energy distribution. By massaging the spleen area, located just under the left rib cage, one stimulates blood flow and lymphatic circulation, helping to wake up organs that may have gone sluggish from disuse or age. For many elderly people, this isn't just about digestion. It's about reclaiming a sense of agency over their own bodies. When a person no longer feels in control, when food becomes a burden instead of nourishment, when the belly feels tight and painful instead of satisfied, and calm quality of life begins to decline, anxiety grows, social outings decrease, sleep becomes fragmented. But a nightly spleen massage isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's a message to the body: I care for you. I trust you to heal. I believe you can feel better. That message alone begins a cascade of healing. Picture Mrs. Land, 74 years old, living alone after her husband passed. For years, she had trouble sleeping through the night. Every evening, she complained of a sour stomach, cramps, and occasional nausea that no doctor could quite explain. Her daughter, who lived abroad, sent over expensive supplements, but none of them helped. Then one day, while watching an old health program on TV, she saw a segment about self-massage before sleep. That night, unsure but curious, she placed her hand on the soft area under her ribs and began to massage. Within 5 minutes, she felt a warmth she hadn't noticed in years. 10 minutes later, she was asleep deeply, peacefully. She kept the practice up every night. Within a week, her bowel movements were more regular, the bloating less severe, and the nightly nausea gone. She wrote to her daughter, I don't need more pills, I need my hands. It sounds simple, perhaps too simple to be real, but the elderly body, more than anything, responds to rhythm and gentle stimulation. Blood flow slows with age, but massage encourages circulation. The nervous system becomes more sensitive to touch, and a nightly ritual like this can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, while increasing endorphins. These hormonal shifts promote not only better digestion, but a sense of emotional calm that is crucial for restful sleep and mental clarity. Too often, elderly individuals are told that decline is inevitable, that aching joints, poor digestion, and restless nights are just the cost of living long. But such a mindset strips away hope. It discourages exploration. It blinds us to the power we still hold. Rubbing the spleen area might not be a miracle cure, but it is a gentle act of reclamation. It is a habit rooted in awareness, and when done consistently, it becomes a bridge connecting body and spirit. The movement itself is easy. After lying down comfortably on your back, place your left hand just beneath your left rib cage. Press gently and begin to move in small, clockwise circles. Inhale slowly through the nose and exhale through the mouth. As you massage, picture the warmth of your palm sinking deep into your abdomen, coaxing the organs beneath to wake up, to breathe, to function smoothly. Think of it as whispering encouragement to parts of you that have long been ignored. For those with arthritis in their fingers or stiffness in their shoulders, even a hot compress placed on the spleen area can mimic the same effect. Or better yet, have a partner or caregiver assist with the massage. It becomes not only a health practice, but a bonding moment, a ritual that speaks of love and presence. In many elderly care homes across Asia, caregivers are being taught this method as part of nightly routines, with incredible results in digestion, sleep, and even emotional well-being. So, dear viewer, if you've made it this far, perhaps your own belly has been trying to tell you something. Perhaps you felt that tightness after dinner or the bloating that spoils your favorite meal. Maybe you too are tired of over-the-counter solutions that don't solve anything. Tonight, give your body a different kind of attention. Before you lie down, turn off the TV, silence your phone, and take 5 minutes for yourself. Let your hand do what no medicine can: comfort your gut, stimulate your spleen, and guide you gently into rest. Try it once. Try it for a week. And when your belly begins to soften, when sleep comes easier, and when mornings feel lighter, you'll know you've unlocked something timeless, a healing rooted not in science or mystery, but in your own touch. And here's something even more intriguing, something your doctor may never have told you, and something the modern world has quietly dismissed. In traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, the spleen isn't just a passive organ sitting quietly in the upper abdomen, waiting for blood cells to be filtered. No, in Eastern thought, the spleen is the very heart of your body's digestive energy. It is the great alchemist, the quiet laborer working night and day to transform food into energy and energy into life force. In Chinese, we call it Qi spleen qi. And when this qi is strong, a person feels light, balanced, focused, and calm. But when spleen qi is weak, the body becomes heavy, the mind dull, and fatigue becomes your constant companion. As we age, this spleen qi naturally declines. Why? Because the T is sensitive to overthinking, to worry, to cold foods, to irregular eating habits, and especially to emotional strain. You may think your occasional stomach upset is about what you ate, but more often, it's about what your heart carried that day. Maybe it was the quiet sadness of an empty home, the worry for grown-up children who rarely call, the gnawing ache of having once been needed and now only occasionally remembered. In TCM, such emotions are not just in your head. They manifest in the gut, in the spleen, in the very way your body processes and eliminates what it no longer needs. Emotional indigestion becomes physical. Now imagine the power of placing your own hand over your spleen each night, not just to massage tissue, but to whisper care to an organ that has long been burdened in silence. The act becomes sacred. You are not just easing bloating, you are nurturing an energy center that has fed you for decades. You are telling your spleen, I remember you, I thank you. That intention, combined with circular motion and warm breath, begins to shift something subtle but real. You are moving qi. Elders in Chinese villages have long passed down this wisdom. Grandmothers with no access to doctors or pharmacies teach their grandchildren that when the belly is hard, the heart is heavy, and when the spleen is soft, the whole body sings. This isn't poetic nonsense, it's centuries of lived experience. That's why even today, TCM practitioners recommend daily abdominal massage for the elderly, not just for digestion, but for clarity of mind, emotional stability, and even balance in the limbs. Why? Because in TCM, the spleen rules the muscles. A weak spleen leads to trembling legs and poor coordination. A strong spleen, it gives rise to firm steps, upright posture, and a bright gaze. Mrs. Land, whom we met earlier, experienced this transformation firsthand. After weeks of nightly spleen massage, she noticed not just better digestion, but clearer thinking. Her neighbors commented on her straighter back and steadier walk. She even resumed watering her garden each morning, something she hadn't done in years. What had changed? Not her medication, not her diet, but her energy. Her spleen qi, once neglected, now pulsed with new life. And this leads us to another profound truth in TCM. The spleen and the stomach are considered the postnatal foundation of life. That means everything you become, every cell, every thought, every breath of strength after birth is built from what these organs process. When they are weak, the whole body starves, not just of nutrition, but of vitality. But when they are strong, you become resilient, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You weather storms with calm. You sleep through the night. You smile more easily. You remember who you are. This ancient wisdom doesn't require you to believe in anything mystical. It only asks that you believe in your body's ability to listen and respond. And if you've ever felt butterflies in your stomach during a stressful moment, or lost your appetite after heartbreak, you already know this connection is real. The spleen is the emotional stomach. It holds on to the worry we won't speak. It stores the grief we pretend we've let go of. And when you rub it gently each night, you begin to release those burdens not just through the gut, but through your entire being. The process is so simple that it almost feels like magic. Lie on your back. Place your warm hand over your left abdomen. Breathe deeply. Let your fingers move in wide, slow circles, not with pressure, but with presence. Inhale to draw in calm. Exhale to release heaviness. Do this for 10 minutes, and you will feel a shift. Not a dramatic thunderbolt, but a quiet softening, a return to center. In Chinese hospitals and wellness centers, this practice is now being rediscovered by modern science. Research shows that gentle abdominal massage lowers cortisol, improves peristalsis, the movement of food through the intestines, and enhances vagus nerve activity, the nerve that connects your gut to your brain and regulates relaxation. Western studies now echo what Eastern medicine has said all along. Healing begins in the belly, and the spleen is the silent gatekeeper. But let's come back to you, to this night and this moment. You who may have lived through wars, loss, love, betrayal, and triumph. You who may have watched children grow and leave, spouses age, friends disappear. You carry so much, and perhaps you carry it all in your belly. What if this moment is not just another bedtime, but a beginning, a return to your own healing, a quiet reclaiming of the power you thought was gone? It starts with a hand, your hand, on your spleen, saying nothing yet, saying everything. And so, dear viewer, let's not wait for another prescription. Let's not wait for the next ache or the next night of restless turning. Let's begin now with breath, with touch, with the ancient memory that healing was never out there, but always inside you, waiting to be remembered. And as this nightly act of care becomes familiar, this moment of quiet where you rub the spleen area with your own warm hand, something deeper begins to happen. Not just in your stomach, not just in your digestion, but in your mind, in your nervous system, in your sleep. You see, the elderly body doesn't just struggle with digestion, it struggles with stillness. As the days grow quieter, the mind often grows louder. Worries, once buried under the busyness of life, rise up in the silence of night. Will I be a burden? Will my savings last? Why don't they visit more often? What if I forget who I am one day? What if I don't wake up tomorrow? These thoughts come not as storms, but as whispers soft, persistent, and impossible to silence. They creep in after the lights go off, when the house is still and only the ticking of the clock remains. And that's where the true power of spleen massage reveals itself, not just as a physical act, but as a gateway to calm the overactive mind. The spleen, in TCM, is deeply connected to thought and worry. It is the organ most affected when we ruminate, overthink, or dwell on the past. And when we soothe the spleen, we are not just helping the gut, we are quieting the thoughts. We are telling the mind, it is safe to let go. In Western terms, this process is intimately tied to the nervous system, specifically the parasympathetic branch, also known as the rest and digest mode. For most older adults, stress becomes chronic. The sympathetic nervous system, which governs the fight or flight response, stays active longer than it should. This leads to increased heart rate, shallow breathing, muscle tension, and poor sleep. The body is stuck in a loop of alertness, even when there is no danger. But here's the miracle. By gently massaging the spleen area, especially in the calm of evening, you activate the vagus nerve, a powerful pathway that tells your brain, we are not in danger. We can rest now. Think of the vagus nerve as a messenger of peace. When stimulated, it lowers your heart rate, softens your breath, and releases calming chemicals like acetylcholine and serotonin. These are the body's natural sleep aids, no pills required. Within minutes of slow, mindful spleen massage, the body begins to shift gears. The eyelids grow heavier, the muscles unclench, the belly relaxes, and most of all, the mind begins to drift. Mrs. Land, whose life we followed, once struggled terribly with sleep. She would lie awake until 3:00 a.m., staring at the ceiling, her mind racing with old memories and new fears. She tried herbal teas, reading, even soft music, but nothing lasted. It wasn't until she made spleen massage a nightly ritual that she found peace. After just 2 weeks, she began falling asleep within 30 minutes. After a month, she slept soundly for 6 hours, something she hadn't done in a decade. She wrote in her diary, "My thoughts still come, but now they don't bite. They pass like clouds, and I let them." For the elderly, quality sleep is not a luxury. It is a pillar of health. Deep sleep helps regulate immune function, repair tissue, stabilize mood, and improve memory. Yet, so many seniors live on fractured rest, dozing in short bursts, waking with dry mouth, stiff joints, and a sense of dread that clings to the morning. The cycle is brutal. Poor sleep leads to fatigue, which leads to inactivity, which leads to digestive slowdown, which leads to even worse sleep. And the cycle goes on. But spleen massage, this tiny habit done at the edge of sleep, interrupts the pattern. It softens the edges of the day. It closes the curtain on the noise of the world. There is a reason why monks, healers, and ancient sages emphasize the abdomen as the center of calm. In many traditions, it is called the hara, the dantian, the center of gravity. All wisdom traditions agree, when the belly is calm, the mind follows. And that is what you are doing with each circular stroke, telling your whole system, you are safe, you are supported, you can let go now. Science supports this. Studies now show that abdominal massage before bed helps regulate melatonin production, the hormone that controls sleep-wake cycles. When done consistently, it reduces nighttime awakenings, increases time spent in deep sleep, and lowers stress-related inflammation. Imagine that. A few minutes of self-touch can do what even modern medications struggle to achieve, not just put you to sleep, but give you rest that restores your body and your hope. And the beauty of it is, you don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to wait in line at the pharmacy or wonder if this supplement is safe for your heart or kidneys. All you need is your own hand, your own breath, and a quiet space. That's it. Some people light a candle before they begin, others play soft instrumental music, some simply lie down in silence, the sound of their own breath, the only melody. There's no right way. What matters is the intention, the tenderness with which you show up for yourself, and the consistency. Like watering a plant each day, this ritual feeds your nervous system. Each night, the body remembers a little more, the mind resists a little less, and the sleep comes a little deeper. Elderly people often say that sleep is no longer their friend, that it comes late and leaves early. But maybe sleep was never the problem. Maybe it was the noise, the internal tension, the forgotten energy centers, the unattended emotions swirling in the belly. And now, with your fingers gently tracing circles over your spleen, maybe, just maybe, you are inviting that friend back. So tonight, when the world dims and the quiet begins, choose a different ending to your day. Don't lie there waiting for sleep to take pity. Take action, not with force, but with softness. Place your hand on your spleen, breathe in the quiet, exhale the worry. And as you massage, imagine your nervous system lighting up with peace, as if every stroke tells the body, you did well today, you are loved, now rest. That is the gift you give yourself, night after night, until sleep no longer feels like a stranger, but a familiar embrace. But of course, sleep is only one piece of the puzzle. There's another battle many older adults silently wage each day, a battle they rarely speak about, yet one that impacts everything from their mood to their energy to their very sense of dignity: constipation. Yes, we often avoid talking about it, brushing it off as something too minor, too embarrassing, too personal, but for many elders, it is a source of daily distress. The feeling of heaviness that lingers in the belly, the pressure that builds without relief, the long minutes in the bathroom that yield nothing but frustration, the fear of going days without a proper bowel movement, and the helplessness that comes when even strong teas, high-fiber diets, and prescriptions no longer seem to work. Let's be honest, chronic constipation isn't just uncomfortable, it's exhausting. It robs people of their appetite, their mental clarity, and their will to move. The gut becomes sluggish, bloated, burdened by what it can't let go of. And what starts in the gut begins to echo in the mind, making people irritable, foggy, emotionally drained. But here's the deeper truth. What if constipation is not just a digestive issue, but a signal that your body's internal engine, your spleen, is running low on power? And what if, instead of forcing the body with laxatives, we could coax it gently back into rhythm? This is where the magic of nightly spleen massage enters again, not just as a tool for comfort, not just as a key to sleep, but as a gentle, natural stimulant for the body's elimination system. When you place your hand over your upper left abdomen and begin to move it in slow, clockwise circles, you are not only massaging soft tissue, you are awakening internal movement. You are sending a message to your intestines. Wake up, move forward, release. This message, repeated night after night, reconditions a gut that has forgotten its natural pace. And with time, the body begins to remember how to let go. In TCM, the spleen governs transformation and transportation, the elegant process by which food becomes nutrients and waste becomes something to be released. When the spleen is weak, transformation slows. Waste stagnates, dampness accumulates, bloating follows, and the bowels become reluctant. By restoring energy to the spleen, you are not treating constipation in the way modern medicine does, you are healing the root cause. You are addressing the loss of rhythm, the drain of inner vitality, the stuck energy that holds everything in. Let us return to Mrs. Land. After her sleep improved, she began to notice another change. She no longer dreaded her morning trips to the bathroom. Where once she had sat for 20 minutes with no results, now she felt the urge shortly after rising. The process was smooth, clean, complete. Her belly flattened, her appetite returned. The constant pressure in her lower abdomen disappeared. She said, with a hint of astonishment, "It's like something turned back on. I feel like my insides can breathe again." It's not just Mrs. Land. Across the world, elderly individuals who integrate abdominal massage into their nighttime rituals report not only improved sleep, but more regular bowel movements. Some do it while lying in bed. Others perform it after a warm bath, when the muscles are soft and the breath is slow. Some add castor oil, ginger balm, or warm towels for extra effect. The method doesn't matter nearly as much as the consistency and the love. Because let's face it, aging can sometimes feel like a slow loss of control over memory, over mobility, over your own bodily functions. And there are few things that feel more disempowering than not being able to relieve yourself to carry out one of life's most basic functions. But each night, as you return to the sacred act of rubbing your spleen area, you take some of that control back. You remind your body of its wisdom. You tell your gut, you still know how to move. You're not broken. You're just waiting for someone to believe in you again. And believe it or not, the gut responds to that belief. Your intestines, your colon, your belly, they are listening, not in words, but in rhythm. And when you create a rhythm with your hands, your breath, your intention, they begin to move with you. This is more than biology, it is harmony. Western research is catching up, slowly. Studies show that abdominal massage increases peristalsis, the wave-like motion that moves waste through the intestines. It also relieves pressure in the colon, reduces gas, and improves symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. And yet, these findings only scratch the surface of what's really happening. Because science can measure the physical effects, but only you can feel the emotional ones, the lightness in your belly, the clarity in your thoughts, the quiet satisfaction that comes from having a body that works. One elderly gentleman, 82 years old, wrote anonymously to a health journal after discovering this practice. He said, "After my wife died, I stopped caring for my body. I ate poorly. I slept little. I barely moved. Constipation became a daily curse. Then one day, I saw a video about spleen massage. I didn't think it would work, but I was tired of feeling stuck. I tried it, and in 2 weeks, I wasn't just going to the bathroom regularly, I was waking up with purpose again." That's the hidden blessing here. It's not just about digestion. It's about dignity, about joy, about movement, both inside and out. The belly, after all, is the emotional center of the body. And when it is locked up, everything else suffers. But when it is released gently, night after night, something beautiful happens. You begin to trust your body again. So tonight, as you lie down, ask yourself this: what do I still carry in my belly? What pain, what memory, what heaviness have I not yet released? Place your hand over your spleen. Let it rest there for a moment. Feel your own warmth. Then begin slow, soft circles. Breathe. Close your eyes and imagine your whole digestive system awakening, not with urgency, but with ease. Let go not just of waste, but of the burden to control everything. Trust your body to do what it was born to do. This is the essence of healing. Not force, not shame, not fear, but rhythm, breath, belief, and the willingness to start again. And perhaps, as you begin to feel these small yet undeniable shifts, better sleep, smoother digestion, regular bowel movements, lighter thoughts, you may stop and wonder, can something this simple truly be this powerful? Can just 5 to 10 minutes a night with nothing but your own hand, your own breath, truly change the way your body feels, the way your nights unfold, the way your days begin? The answer, dear friend, is not only yes, it's always been yes. For too long, we have been conditioned to believe that healing must come from outside us, that relief is bought in bottles, that comfort is manufactured in pills, that vitality depends on a doctor's prescription, or a complicated diet, or expensive therapies. But this belief has quietly stolen something from us: our trust in the ordinary, our faith in slow, natural rhythms, our relationship with our own bodies. But the truth is, your body wants to heal. It is not broken. It is not past the point of return. Even in old age, especially in old age, the body remembers how to restore balance. It only needs consistency, gentleness, a little daily help. And this simple act, this nightly rubbing of the spleen area, is just that: a return, a reawakening, a reconnection between hands and heart, between intention and tissue, between your past pain and your present peace. This is not medicine you buy. It is medicine you give. And it is in every way a non-invasive miracle. No side effects, no prescriptions, no dependency, just touch, just breath, just presence. And unlike treatments that lose power over time, this one gains strength the longer you do it. Each night, your body grows more attuned, your digestion becomes more responsive, your sleep deepens, your emotions soften, your faith in your own resilience quietly returns. The longer you do it, the more your system, your entire being, starts to trust again. In truth, what we call healing is often just this: the patient remembering that they still belong in their body. The elderly have lived through so much: illness, grief, transition, loss, loneliness. It's easy to lose the habit of self-care, not because of laziness, but because no one reminds you that your body is still worthy of love, still capable of transformation, still deserving of gentle attention. You may have lived through war, through famine, through raising children who left and grandchildren who forgot. You may feel that your strongest years are behind you. But healing is not a privilege of the young. It is the right of every living, breathing being, including you. This nightly massage, done with bare hands and quiet breath, is not just about the spleen. It is not even just about digestion or sleep. It is about reclaiming something deeper, your ability to tend to yourself, to be your own caregiver, to meet your body not with judgment or fear, but with patience, with kindness, with the same compassion you have poured out for others all your life now, finally turned inward. And here's the quiet truth no one speaks. When you do this long enough, it becomes something more than a ritual. It becomes a companion, a friend, a way to say to yourself at the end of each day, you are still here, you are still worth it. Let's return for a moment to Mrs. Land. 3 months into her nightly practice, her daughter came to visit. She was stunned. "Mom, you look different," she said. "You're glowing." Land just smiled. She didn't mention any new skincare or diet. She simply led her daughter to the bedside, took her hand, and placed it gently on her own spleen area. "This," she said, "this is my medicine now." That night, mother and daughter massaged together in silence, beneath the same dim lamp. The generations joined not by technology or medication, but by the quiet miracle of touch. And for the first time in years, both slept through the night. You see, the healing doesn't stop with you, it ripples. When you take care of yourself with such grace, you inspire others to do the same. Your children see your strength. Your grandchildren see your discipline. Your friends begin to ask what changed, and without preaching, without explaining, you become a living example that aging can be vibrant. That vitality doesn't retire. That healing is timeless. So if you're still wondering whether this practice is worth starting, whether it's too late for you, let this be your answer. It's never too late to care for yourself. It's never too late to turn toward the body you've lived in for decades and say, "I'm ready now, let's begin." You don't need fancy oils. You don't need perfect technique. All you need is a willingness to start. Sit or lie down. Place your hand over your spleen, breathe. Begin to circle slowly. Don't rush. Don't analyze. Just move. Just feel. Let this be your ritual, a gift you give yourself when the world has gone quiet. And night after night, let that gift return to you in the form of rest, in the form of comfort, in the form of strength rising softly from your center. Until one morning, you wake up not only rested, not only regular, but alive in a way you thought had gone missing. You'll walk to your window, you'll feel the sun on your face, and you'll whisper not to the world, but to yourself. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for coming home to me. Because the truth is, in every gentle circle you make with your hand, you are telling your body, I am still here, and I still believe in you. And that, more than any pill or potion, is where true healing begins. And if you've made it this far, maybe something inside you is already stirring a quiet sense of hope, a soft curiosity, a feeling that perhaps your body still holds more strength than you thought. If this message touched your heart, or if you've ever felt the discomfort of a restless gut or a sleepless night, I invite you to try this gentle practice tonight. And after you do, come back and share your experience with us in the comments. Let others hear your story, because your voice might be the light someone else is searching for. Don't forget to like this video if it brought you comfort, and subscribe for more simple, powerful ways to care for yourself in this beautiful chapter of life. You are not alone. We are walking this journey together. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. And remember, one quiet touch, night after night, might be all it takes to awaken the peace already within you.